Hello and welcome back folks. First time here, then welcome to the channel. This video is just a follow-up to my previous discussion of the Alien Earth teaser trailer. A kind of part 2 if you will. If you haven't watched it, please feel free to check it out if you're interested in ideas regarding where this TV series could be headed based on clues and current plot information. However, in this video I was really looking forward to analysing and then theorising over the extremely brief images that flash onto our screens, in such an intentionally shocking manner that it absolutely begs us to pause and study them. The first image, slightly distorted and hiding behind those distinct CRT display scan lines, is an alien egg, also known as an ovomorph. No surprise here, after all, what is an alien story without the iconic unravelling of the four-petal-like design, exposing the grotesque throbbing membrane, which might as well be a no-turning-back sign for anyone foolish enough to take a gander. With its leathery-looking features, the egg capsule will most likely contain sensory receptors capable of detecting nearby life forms. Possibly chemoreceptors, meaning a reaction to chemical stimuli, or motion-sensitive mechanoreceptors, suggesting a reactionary response to touch or sound. This has always been strongly evident in the Alien films when curious individuals have gotten a little too close, triggering the rapid and precise opening of the egg followed by the explosive emergence of the facehugger. What I find intriguing about this could best be described using a classic metaphor. What came first, the queen or the egg? From this teaser we have yet to learn where the egg was discovered or how it came to be. It almost leaves us in the same state of eager anticipation we once felt when discovering organic egg pods on board the derelict in Alien. Unless we assume the idea of a queen will be the prominent reproduction method in Alien Earth. Still, it's worth noting that the show's creator, Noah Hawley, hasn't been shy in interviews when describing his desire to examine the species from an evolutionary standpoint. I find it hard to believe he'll completely ignore what Ridley Scott's prequel films established regarding the pathogen substance and the engineer story arc. Interestingly, he has indeed expressed interest in revealing some of the essence of where this perfect specimen originates. I take his meaning to suggest in a natural evolutionary sense, mainly because he refers to the Xenomorph as an ancient creature that could have existed for millions of years. Therefore, I'd like to know if he's been keen to explore ideas akin to the popular egg morphing theories that have sparked fan debates for many years. But there is a hidden narrative woven into the fabric of their existence, an enigmatic bedrock of possibilities that could rejuvenate and inspire us Alien fans once more if the TV series dares to explore it. Beneath the murky surface and veil of mystery in alien lore, there is a plethora of cosmic mythos, a history hidden from us so far in the films, but if they're smart, one that may start to take shape in Alien Earth, even if it hasn't been described to be the focus of the show thus far. I speak somewhat of the unsettling implications surrounding the engineers, more importantly the elephantine godlike race that might have been responsible for creating them, and of course the Xenomorph itself. Their existence and intentions have slowly started to take shape within the world of comic books and video games over the years, but none have realised them better than the game Aliens: Dark Descent. This title concluded with an extremely harrowing glimpse into a concept of how their world may have looked. It brought forth familiar and unfamiliar architecture in its visual design while staying faithful to the source material from H.R. Giger. However, more profoundly, it delved into Giger's themes of biological life infused with mechanical constructs, as the game presented a long-dead species of giants that closely resembled the space jockey in many ways. We know that the show will tackle corporate rivalry involving AI and consciousness as one of its themes, and understandably so, as synthetics have always played an important part in these stories. But hopefully we can expect a clever introduction into the past via archaeological discoveries that may relate to this ancient race in question, as well as shedding some light on the Xenomorph's beginnings. Whether they belonged solely to nature once upon a time, or were a species altered in some fashion by the space jockey's kind, who knows. Maybe they'll find a secret thread that finally connects the gigantic 22-foot space jockey to this saga in a profound way. And this could happen very early on at the location of the unknown moon I spoke of in my previous video. the same moon that is voiced in this Disney trailer.
This ship collected specimens on a faraway moon.
The second image shows an animal resembling a female bison, otherwise a cow. I assume we're looking at a domesticated animal, which makes me very anxious to know more. To me, this clearly suggests an alien outbreak, wouldn't you think? And to cement the idea of xenomorphs running loose on Earth and born from farmyard stock, is this intriguing little blob to the right of the screen. This may be an X-ray shot of the mixture of oxygen, sedative and embryonic formula that is normally forced down the throat of any creature unlucky enough to encounter a facehugger, spelling impending agony once the embryo has matured in size. I say this because it heavily reminds me of the monitor footage witnessed in some of the films that displayed scan results during the victim's gestation period. It's also slightly provocative if we zoom in here and see what looks like some form of grid lighting cast by ceiling fixtures in a dark room. It's hard to see anything clearly within the eyeball's iris, but it reminds me of those clinical laboratory prisons we've all seen in hundreds of other films and TV shows. The kind of place Agent Mulder would have ended up after sticking his nose where he shouldn't have in an X-Files episode. Maybe this is a subtle clue suggesting that either Weyland or one of its competing companies had successfully captured and controlled xenomorphs and had planned to weaponize them. All of this done in secret, of course, because as we know, transparency has no place in the vocabulary belonging to the powerful globalists and interstellar corporate bodies that dominate this era. My guess is that most of these shots are merely hints and clues, pieces of the puzzle designed for the trailer only. Something to either mislead us or get our gears grinding for what is to come, building hype without the hype, so to speak. All the filming, by the way, was done in Thailand, and the only external shot we have is that of some form of special ops team emerging from the water near what could be a cave or possibly the crash site of the Weyland-Yutani vessel carrying its cargo of aliens, which has already been established from interviews. Now, as the show takes place just 2 years prior to 1979's Alien, it's a strong guess that the Weyland and Yutani merge would have already been a thing of history by now. But whether this notorious company occupies these exotic lands or one of its competitors remains a mystery. If all hell does break loose and the beast escapes its cage, then what a fantastic location for the xenomorph to thrive in. It feels like an intentional nod towards the predator. Humans being hunted in a dense jungle environment by a physically superior being, but with all the sophistication of a Noah Hawley production instead of the Alien vs Predator cheese, yes please. Crucially, anything that does happen within this time frame must have ultimately been kept under wraps and hidden from the public. Otherwise, I never heard mention of this event during Aliens. Indeed, if this were public knowledge, then somebody would have spoken about it to Ripley. Hence the inherent problem with making prequels. The last few images we can extract from this very teaserish of teaser trailers are also quite telling of things to come, but not really a surprise as it is Alien after all. Again, the degradation is on purpose and designed to keep us guessing, but this is obviously some incarnation of an ovomorph larval parasitic embryo transporter, similar to, if not identical to, the facehugger itself. It does appear slightly unconventional and a little peculiar compared to what we've seen in the past, almost like it belongs in the ocean. However, I believe there is no reason to go off on a tangent here based on a teaser constructed to confuse. Certainly what we can all agree on is what happens next for the individual in the frame. I do like this image, as it has to be the internals of either one of the livestock I spoke of earlier or the unfortunate human in the last shot. What stands out among the backdrop of organs and tissue is quite a distinct set of teeth at the top right and the outline of a jaw, wide open almost in anticipation of seeing the world for the first time. Weirdly, this is one of those images where the more you look at it, the more you see something else. And there we have it, folks. Remember that this series is arriving on Earth in the summer of 2025, so it's close when you think about how they will soon start to push the marketing campaign for the first Alien series ever made. Therefore, we could expect a full-length trailer over the coming month or two, or at the very least, a more revealing teaser in the meantime. For those of you who are unsure and apprehensive about Disney potentially exploiting this franchise even further, especially after the disappointment expressed in some of the comments that were posted in my last video regarding Alien Romulus, I completely get it. That said, I would implore you to please check out the Fargo series created by Noah Hawley, the creator of Alien Earth. Personally, I found his writing and directing of Fargo to be of an excellent standard. He had the ability to infuse an intense thriller, comedy and drama into the episodes in a way that didn't trample over one another, allowing for a seamless viewing experience with a great story to immerse yourself in. The acting was always great, and when the scenes got tense, they really got tense, and I found myself holding my breath on many occasions. Although I cannot speak as to Disney's intentions with the series, I have much confidence in Mr. Hawley's craft regarding coherent storytelling and making the audience emotionally invest themselves. I'd be very interested to hear from any Alien fans out there who have seen the Fargo series, and to read your thoughts on how Hawley may approach Alien. As for now, thank you very much for listening. Next up, I'll be discussing Predator Badlands and 28 Years Later, as well as reviewing Nosferatu very soon. Until then, take care of yourselves.